Right now, 741, New Orleans is getting a power upgrade so they can accommodate the future economic growth and development in this city. This morning, Energy New Orleans President and CEO Charles Rice is in with more about this project. Thanks for coming in. First of all, we were talking about, you were saying that at least Energy is at 90% of where they were pre-Katrina.
That's right. We're at about 90% of our pre-Katrina customer base, and that customer count continues to grow.
Which is odd because the population is not back to 90% of pre-Katrina.
No, it's not, from what I understand, but for us, it's, we're in a growth mode. The entire state is in a growth mode, and we're seeing the results of what we're calling the industrial renaissance, where there's a lot of activity going on along the entire Gulf Coast area and up the river region with plants expanding, and we're seeing some of the ancillary growth associated with that, to include the 2 new hospitals that we're getting here in New Orleans.
And you've got the 2 new hospitals near downtown. You've also got all the development around the Rouse's downtown. I mean, there's so much stuff going on right now.
Yes, and New Orleans is really in a growth mode right now. And we've actually launched a website called Power to Grow NOLA, where we're informing customers about a lot of the changes that are going on in the city and around the state.
And what are we talking about here? For changes,
yeah. Right now, we have launched, or we are launching on July 13th, a $30 million infrastructure project where we are going to upgrade the transmission lines here in the city of New Orleans, primarily in the uptown area, to benefit the entire city, to allow us to bring in more cost-effective power to the city of New Orleans.
Will that also help in the frequent blackouts or outages we see?
Well, let me say this. We are always improving our system. We have a maintenance program that we implement year-round. We deal with the vegetation. Sometimes that causes outages. But this is going to allow us to improve reliability and also bring in low-cost power into the area.
And is this a system-wide change for energy, or is it just concentrated here in New Orleans?
We are always upgrading our system, and in the state of Louisiana, there is a huge industrial renaissance going where we're building transmission projects all over the state. And
this does indicate a lot of growth for you. When you see the customer base going back up to 90% pre-Katrina, and you see all the development going on downtown, I mean, it does bode well for the city's future.
Oh, I think this is a great time to be in the city of New Orleans. It's a great time to be a New Orleanian, and the city is really going in a positive direction, and it is growing.
And what are some other things that Energy is trying to do to especially get ready for when we're in hurricane season, things like that, and then to take on this extra growth?
Well, we are always preparing for hurricane season. We train and drill year-round for that. We have received the Edison Electric Institute's Storm Preparedness and Response Recovery Award. I believe it's now 18 years running. We're the only utility in the country that can make that claim. And
what exactly does that mean?
That means that when it comes to storm restoration, we are considered the best in the business. We prepare year-round. We drill for this. We conduct tabletop drills. We coordinate with the state of Louisiana. We coordinate with different parishes and cities around the state. And the bottom line is we are the best in the business when it comes to storm restoration.
And I was asking you who the biggest power customer is in the city, and you were saying it's the Folgers plant out in Orleans East.
Yeah, Folgers in the Michoud area, those are probably our largest customers. A lot of people don't know that Folgers actually decaffeinates all of its product here in the city of New Orleans. At one time, they were shipping those beans over to Europe and doing the
still the biggest coffee plant in the world.
It is, and it's right here in the city of New Orleans, and a lot of people don't know that.
All right, we'll be looking. Will we actually notice the upgrades coming?
What you will see is, because we are putting in what's an aluminum line, this allows us to basically string new line without having to replace the poles. So what customers will see are cranes pulling new lines from one pole to the other pole with minimal disruption of service. We do not anticipate any outages. However, there will be some cases where we may have to block streets for a period of time, but we will notify all the customers at least a day in advance. Okay. And you can go to the website, Power to Grow NOLA, and see when we will be working in your area, where we have completed work, and when you can anticipate that we'll be in your area.
All right, Charles, thank you very much. We appreciate that.
Oh, thank you.
By the way, if you'd like to report any problems or concerns about the project, you can go to, as Charles just mentioned, the Grow NOLA hotline. The number is 670 3624 or email to grownola@energy.com. Correct address?
That is
We'll have that on our website too. Laura?